everyone and welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm very happy to have you here. Today is more of a chatty video, but I want to keep it short and sweet. Today I just want to show you what are some of my current most used fragrances in my collection. Some of them are suitable for typical summery fragrances, some of them not. I'm just here to share my thoughts on them. So yes, guys, let me know what are some of your current most used fragrances in your collection. I would love to know that. I quickly want to show you a fragrance that I've been obsessed with for a good few months. I've talked about this fragrance so much on my channel and I don't want to talk about it again. I will just show the fragrance to you. Here we go, Sajaya Gold by Junaid. I'm on my second bottle. I have a backup bottle and I want to get more backup bottles. Now that it's out of the way, let's continue. The thing is, guys, I know it can be quite redundant to show the same fragrances again and again, but the thing is, if I'm using that fragrance, then if I'm talking about my current most used fragrances, of course I want to show it to you, you know. I have a dedicated video for that fragrance. It is discontinued, so I don't think you can still find it. Let's move on to a fragrance that I don't think that I've talked about on my YouTube channel yet. This is my only fragrance from Zara that I currently have in my collection. The fragrance is called Ebony Wood. I have the 40 ml version, guys, and this one few months ago, like this one was like all over YouTube in fragrance related videos. Everybody used to be obsessed with this fragrance. Everybody used to feature this fragrance in their videos. I've seen videos upon videos popped up with this one in the thumbnails. The thing is, I do get why. I mean, in my opinion, this is one of the most memorable fragrances from Zara that doesn't dupe anything. I feel like, to me at least, compared to what I have tried, this is a unique creation from Zara. This is from the collaboration with Jo Malone, and the thing is, I do really like it. I have the 40 ml version and like you can see, I'm almost like running out, you know. Would I repurchase this one? I don't know if I would repurchase this one, honestly, but I do like it. Is a standalone fragrance. Like I said, to me it smells very unique. Basically, if you look this one up on Fragrantica, it has cloves, I think it has ebony wood and pink pepper. Now, I know how pink pepper smells, I know how cloves smell. I have never smelled ebony wood, but basically how this one smells to me, it's like a very peppery, slightly fruity, hot and cold from the clove, thin, dry woody fragrance. Hope that makes sense, guys. This is not, I mean, you would be tempted to think that this fragrance is very full and dense and rich, you know, because of the note. But in my opinion, it's quite on the contrary. It's very thin and soft. It's not a suffocating fragrance, at least compared to the kind of fragrances that I like in general. Now, I think this is a fragrance where I can actually really smell the cloves. And I'm happy about that because I love cloves. And if you've ever chewed on a piece of clove, you know that it has this like very hot and cold quality about it. Like fiery and spicy, fiery, hot and cold, you know, like yeah. And this one, I find it, this one has the same quality about it, but transported when it comes to scent profile, you know. Yeah, honestly, to me this is a perfect unisex. I would say this fragrance is very androgynous, modern, like perfect unisex sort of fragrance, you know. From the notes breakdown to the presentation to the packaging to everything, this doesn't pull feminine, neither it pulls masculine. This is the kind of fragrance that you can share with your partner if you like fragrances. Okay, I feel like as a woman, you need to appreciate more edgy fragrances. This to me, it's edgy but casual, meaning that it's edgy enough that it stands out to the other fragrances in the world of fragrances for women, but it's not too much to the point where like you would feel, let's say, like a man wearing this fragrance. I generally reach for this fragrance whenever I have like a very casual outfit but I want something edgy, like a pair of jeans and a black t-shirt, you know. This is the sort of vibe it gives me, like modern, classy but edgy, casual. You could dress it up, you could dress it down. I wouldn't say this falls into the feminine category, neither in the typical masculine category, but I do think women will find this one more unique than men, because as a woman, if you've only used fragrances from, let's say, the design in the designer fragrance world, then this DNA is very unique, or like could be very unique to you. But if you've, let's say, if you've dipped your toes into the Middle Eastern fragrance world, and I'm not talking about the dupes or the clones, I'm talking about legit like Middle Eastern traditional blends, then I think you won't find this one challenging, you know, and you will not find it as unique. But still, one of the most memorable fragrances from Zara, in my opinion. If I were to smell it on someone in the street, I could recognize its DNA, like no matter what. That's that. Now guys, let's move on to a fragrance from Armaf. Can you guess what fragrance this is? This is, guys, Eternia Woman from Armaf. I will try to insert a photo with how the bottle looks when you buy it, but basically it looks like a big, fat, cheap lighter, like cigar lighter, you know. I'm not a fan of the packaging. It's very cheap, like cheap plastic. I generally don't like it, so I just decided to take it out. But I don't know, I wouldn't advise you to take this one out from the package if you like to travel and bring this one with you on vacation or wherever you travel, because the cap does not fit, you know. So you have the possibility to, so you have the chance that the fragrance might leak in your suitcase or whatever you put it, you know. Now I have used a lot of this fragrance. I'm on my second bottle of this fragrance, guys, and this to me in the summertime, I love it. I mean, I love it all year round. This for me falls again into the all year round or all-purpose fragrance category. I think it's very beautiful, it's cozy. You have here a bitter orange, a sweet dense vanilla, some nutty touches from the almond. You have here tonka bean. You have here such a beautiful feminine fragrance. Mind you, it smells quite synthetic when you first apply it, and if you have a sensitive nose, I do think some might find this one bothering. It's in the same vibe with Poison Girl from Dior, but that one is way smoother, softer, more blended. Basically, it's I would say that one you can smell that it's better done than this one. This one I would say it's more like in your face, a little bit scratchy, screechy, but honestly I don't mind it. I love how it smells. So yes, this is again one of my current most used fragrances. I use it for daytime, I use it for nighttime. I love to use it before I go to bed. I love to use it when I go out. It just makes me feel very feminine, you know. This is a very feminine fragrance to me. Let's move on to a fragrance that I feel like it's either I love or hate, at least from the feedback that I got so far for this fragrance. The fragrance that I'm talking about is from the house of Lattafa, and this one is called Abyiedh Rouge. I do really enjoy this one, guys. I mean, as you can see, like I'm almost out with this one. Like it's almost empty, like empty, finished. I got a lot of amazing feedback from this one, but like I also got negative feedback from this one. So I would say this one is like a hit or a miss, you know, like it all comes down to how you perceive this one. Some people told me that it smells like nail polish. Some people told me that it smells like a hospital. Some people told me that it smells amazing and they love it. So I fall into the I love this one category. I don't think it smells like nail polish. I don't think it smells like a hospital. I think it smells amazing. Like I think I have a dedicated video to this one. So if you want to hear more about how this one smells and everything, feel free to check out the video. But to me, this is like Baccarat Rouge DNA with a twist. This is like a sweet, citrusy, aromatic fragrance with like some round, transparent, mossy qualities, I would say. I used to use this one on its own. I used to use this one layered. I mean, you can see, like I said, I'm on my last few drops, and I do think I would repurchase this fragrance because, again, to me. But you know what, I find it very interesting. To me, I am tempted to reach for this one when I go for office meetings for whatever reason. It's very interesting, but this gives me like casual business vibes. Again, I don't know. But if I'm being very honest, when I go out and I know there will be a lot of people, I don't reach for this one because currently where I live, Kirke or Erba Pura by Kirke by Tiziana Terenzi and Erba Pura by Xerjov, those two, I can smell them everywhere I go, like everywhere I go. And this one as well, on the streets, at the mall, everywhere I go, I can smell these two DNAs, you know. So I'm not really keen on smelling like other people. Now, if you were talking about this DNA of Abyiedh Rouge, let me show you another fragrance that, even though it doesn't smell alike, but I do notice some similarities. The fragrance that I want to show you next, that's currently one of my most used fragrances, is Instant Crush by Mancera. This is a fragrance that I really do like a lot. Let me show you how much I have used. Can you see? Yes, I hope you can. And keep in mind, guys, this is 120 ml. And I've had this one for like a few months in my collection, so I have used this one a lot. This to me, guys, this to me is a daytime fragrance, and this to me is the perfect summer fragrance for those who don't like typical summery fragrances. Now keep in mind, I don't live in a place that has a lot of humidity. Even when it's hot, but it's not very humid, you know. So I can still use these sort of fragrances. This fragrance, I got compliments, but for whatever reason, some people, whenever I wear this fragrance and I do, let's say, maybe few more sprays that I should have, they cough, yeah, they cough basically, you know. And they tell me that they find this one a bit bothering, so keep this in mind. But I personally love it. To me, it smells like a gingerbread cookie house from the ginger in the opening, and then it has like this vanilla, a little bit powdery, spicy quality about it, mixed with like that same transparent resiny sort of touch, you know. Of course, more than that, but like, to put it in a few simplistic words, this is how I would say it smells to me. This is the kind of fragrance that I know I can count on when I want a fragrance for the daytime that I know would last, would perform, would stand out, it's unique. So yes, I would reach for this one, and I generally, that's when I reach for this one. For nighttime, I don't really use this one because I think for nighttime I want something darker, you know. Oh guys, let's move on to a fragrance that I will be forever in love with this one. And before I actually show you the fragrance, let me just tell you that I'm a rose lover. Like, if I were to choose one note, my favorite note, it will be rose. But I'm also very picky when it comes to what kind of rose fragrances I add to my collection and I wear. I don't like those light, bright floral takes on roses. Those are not for me. I don't like the fragrances that smell like rose water, that are very like aquatic, rosy, with perhaps some like fruity peony touches. Again, those are not for me. I don't like fragrances that smell soapy, like a soap scented rose, like a rose scented soap bar. Those are not for me. I do like my fragrances, like my rose fragrances, to be richer, darker, more resinous, more balsamic, spicier, so on and so forth, you know. And from all the rose based fragrances that I have tried, guys, let me just tell you that this one that I want to show you next, it's the most sensual feminine fragrance that I have ever tried. To me, this is like, how to say, like an ode to femininity in a fragrance format. I am in love, like in love with this fragrance. It's not the kind of fragrance that I wear when I want to do the groceries or something. It's the kind of fragrance that I wear for specific purposes, but when it comes to those specific purposes, this fragrance gets the job done. Now, without the very long intro for the fragrance that I've been wearing a lot this summer is Nina Ricci's L'Extase Rose Absolue. I already have a backup bottle of this fragrance, guys. I don't know if I can show you here on camera because it reflects the light, but basically this has 80 ml, guys, and I've basically used half of it, so I've used 40 ml. I love this one, guys. Like, oh my god. Like I said, this is an ode to femininity. If you've ever been curious to smell benzoin, guys, benzoin is a beautiful wearable resin in fragrances. I think it's one of the most wearable resins that you can have out there. It's one of my favorites as well, and this is a benzoin rose mix. The rose here is like syrupy, it's like not syrupy but like jammy, you know. It smells, I feel like the benzoin here, basically you have Taif rose, which is one of my favorite roses. It's very sweet. The rose in this one is like dark, it's rich, it's dense, and it's almost like it's a bit boozy as well from the benzoin. And you have this like resiny, vanilla, caramel touches. It's amazing, simply amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you can find this one and you haven't checked it out yet, I would highly advise you to try it. I'm sure you will not be disappointed. This fragrance gives me Valentine's Day. This fragrance gives me like date night vibes, like sophisticated occasions, perhaps, I don't know, like red carpet or something, you know. This is the vibe that it gives me. And yes, I mean, I don't think it's a unisex. This fragrance shines on a woman for sure, and like I said, to me this is an ode to femininity. I think this is one of the best rose fragrances out there, honestly. And this is a fragrance that I reach for usually when I wear dresses, you know, like for instance with this is like a very feminine dress, you know, so I would see this one would fit, this fragrance would fit perfectly. Or like with black dresses, like I wear a lot of black. I mean, black is like my color, honestly. And no, I don't wear black because, how to say, like someone died or something, no. I think someone asked me like, why do I wear black? And I think they meant to take it in that direction, like if something bad happened in my life or something. No guys, nothing bad happened in my life. I'm doing amazing. I'm just wearing black because I love the color black, you know. And I think it suits me, it suits my style, it suits my features, it suits the vibe that I go for. So yes. But I would say this one with black satin dresses, like this one with black satin dresses, like match made in heaven. Let's move on to the last fragrance. This is a fragrance, if I were to show you this one, you would say how it's your current most used fragrance, or like one of your current most used fragrances, because it looks almost full. That's because indeed it is almost full because it's a new fragrance in my collection, but it's a fragrance that I love to use before I go to bed. Oh, by the way, even this one from Ricci, I love to use it before I go to bed as well, like with satin pajamas. Oh my gosh, it's like a whole vibe, you know. Now this one, again, this one is the opposite of the previous one, but I love it for what it already is. This is from Ahmed and Maghribi. This one is called Anab, and I love this fragrance, guys. This to me smells like kiwi, like freshly cut kiwi and white chocolate. But like in the interpretation of these notes, like the artificial interpretation of these notes, you know, it doesn't smell like legit food. But oh my god, this is the perfect summer fragrance if you want something that's sweet, like fruity, edible, lickable, however, you know, like it's the perfect summer fragrance. This one, let me just tell you, it's so delicious and it's so strong, guys. Like it's so strong. I do like 3 to 4 sprays before I go to bed. I wake up the next day and I could still smell the fragrance. Not like a faint trace, like I can still smell the fragrance, like it's still strong, you know. So yes, performance is not an issue for that fragrance, and I love it. I love it. So yes guys, those were some of my current most used fragrances. Of course I have others, but I really wanted to show you just the fragrances that I have used a lot in the past few months. These are the fragrances. Again, I think most of these you've already heard me talk about them in one video or the other, but if they are my current most used fragrances, I will show them in this video as well, you know. So yes guys, please let me know what are some of your current most used fragrances in the comment section down below. I would love to know that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram. I will link it somewhere up there. If you want to tell me anything, please put it in the comment section down below. So yes, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of hugs, a lot of positive energy. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye guys.